Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday morning.
Morning.
How is everybody doing?
Good.
Good. I know we woke up to some not so great news this morning. So everything looks like it's going to be extended through April. So we're going to be spending more time together during this month. So how was everybody's weekend?
New normal.
It was good.
Good. New normal. I know. I would agree. And and somehow like the weeks feel okay, but the weekend seemed a little strange. Definitely is our new normal for sure. For sure. But it is Monday morning, and I know that whether whether it looks a little different, it's the same, it is anything in between, that I also want to be very respectful of your time. It's the start of a new week, and who knows what this week will bring, but want to start it off on the right foot, on a productive foot, on just some time together to sort of get together our strategic action plan for the week, some really practical tips and tools that we can start doing that will really make a difference when it comes to driving, to managing, to advancing our careers. And I know right now sometimes that is probably vacillates between kind of the last thing that you're thinking about and the only thing that you're thinking about. So my business partner, Pam Borton, is also on, and she will be managing the chat room. So if you could just type in your name, where you are calling in from, and any other questions, comments throughout our time together, we want to make sure to hear your voices and to say hello. So hello, everybody. And so, yes, we are starting the last week of March and going through April, and every Monday and Wednesday we are going to be doing this at least through April. And this is all about things that you can do to really kind of create that career survival kit during these unprecedented, uncertain times, and figuring out ways that you can still sort of be in that driver's seat and still manage your career, still control the things that you can control. So just like every Monday and Wednesday, we are going to start off with things that we can celebrate, some positive news, some wins. And typically this is all about kind of those little wins, big wins, those rock star moments that we are all celebrating. But I want to do this a little differently from now on. There was such, great ideas last time around ways that we're also helping one another and supporting one another and lending a helping hand, and really sort of making a difference in our communities every which way. So I just want to open it up, and if somebody want to share some good news, a win, something positive that you're doing, a way that you're helping a neighbor, a friend, a colleague during this time. We need some good news. Anybody want to share? You can unmute yourself. Let's hear from you.
I'll jump in. I think I'm finally hitting my stride.
Okay.
It took a couple weeks to settle sort of in this rhythm. I'd find little bits throughout the day and do my things that felt normal, but now I feel like I'm settling a bit more, which feels, again, new normal, but better than it was.
Good. Well, we almost don't have a choice. And so part of it is just sort of embracing kind of what we've got to work with right now. And that's also a sign of how adaptable we are as a people, how resilient we are. We can modify, we can adapt, we can accommodate to our new situations and our new surroundings. It may take a while,
Mhm.
You know, for some of us, it's week 2. For others, it's week 3. Some of us are on, you know, shelter in place orders, others not. So there's a lot of variation also going on right now. But the bottom line is that, you know, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you got to acclimate.
Mhm.
Yes. So I think that's a great win.
Mhm.
So anybody else want to share? What's some good news going on in your world?
So this is Tina, and I had an opportunity. I have 14 acres, and I haven't walked it in a long time. So I had an opportunity to take some breaks in between meetings last week and just get out there and walk that property and just, you know, just really go back to the earth piece of it because I think it's so important for us to move more now than we did before. So I think that was a plus taking that break. I also have a neighbor who they're elderly, and we did do some food shopping and just dropped off a bag at their porch, which, you know, just a little something, but I hope it makes a difference.
Well, hi, Tina. It definitely makes a difference. I mean, it makes a difference for your neighbors and it makes a difference for yourself. You know, I mean, right now we should be taking breaks. And because we need to take care of ourselves now more than ever. And with the limited options that we have, taking a walk sometimes is the best thing that we can do. And I will say, one of the only maybe sort of silver lining in terms of the timing of all of this is that it is happening in the spring. So hopefully the weather, wherever you all are calling in from, hopefully the weather is getting a little nicer and a little warmer, and you can just walk outside your front door. That's still allowed. And just, you know, Tina, as you said, just kind of, you know, getting grounded sort of in that truest sense of being kind of more connected to the ground, to the earth. A lot of people are sort of getting really back to the basics and appreciating sort of, you know, what nature has to offer right now and how rejuvenating that can be to our soul, to our mental health, and just that fresh air, the vitamin D that you get from the sun, you know, all of those things cannot be taken for granted right now. And that's something that is small, but it can have a huge impact, huge positive impact in what we're all sort of grappling with right now. So I think that's the big win. So thanks, Tina. One more. Anybody else?
Hi, this is Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Amy. Um, you know, it's the silly stuff that that's coming up for me, including as I'm sitting with my remote in front of the television, going into channels number 400 and 27, and and seeing what's in some of those stations, and I discovered 20 channels, one after the other, that are music, and so I danced. I danced for like 45 minutes, just using random stations from my television that I didn't know existed. Because I have my favorites, like all of us do, but so there's some really good music on, on cable television.
There is. That's a great idea. And I know, you know, if there is also like an 80s station, which anybody
Oh
from a
yeah,
certain era,
oh yeah.
best, you know, music era ever.
Yep.
But we should be dancing. You know, the whole idea of dance like nobody's watching, dance away. Great exercise, great positive endorphins. And look what you can find when you know, explore the cable channels in the 400s. So, yeah, one of the things that we were talking about over the weekend is, you know, this idea of, you know, could be worse. The pandemic could have happened, you know, back in the day when we only had 4 TV channels. And now we have more than 400 and all the Netflix that we could ever possibly want to watch. So
Yep.
yes, it's good. Thanks, Mary, for that idea. All right, so just like every time, we're going to talk about 4 tips that you can start implementing, that you should implement even today, that are going to make a difference. And then we'll go into a little Q&A, and then we will wrap up. So keeping it simple, but again, these are those little things that make a big difference. So number 1 is to connect for your career. What this means is, I know everybody now is really understanding and experiencing that power of connection and what it does and how important it is to still be connected to family members. And I'm sure a lot of you are on Zoom with family members. My entire family's on Zoom now, and connecting with family, with friends, with colleagues. There are virtual happy hours and book clubs and neighborhood gatherings. Right outside my door, there were a whole bunch of people with the appropriate 6 feet apart, sitting in a circle, having a conversation. So we all understand how important that power of connection is. And as humans, we're not meant to be isolated. We're not wired that way. We're a communal people. We need connection now more than ever. So we understand that, but I want to talk about why connection is good for your career. So the benefits of being connected to other human beings right now, there are 3 main ones. Strengthens the immune system. So what does this mean? We know that this makes good sort of common sense, but what sort of career sense does this make? Yes, nobody wants to get sick right now, especially with the virus. But what that means for your career, because there are going to be people in our world that will come down with something. And, whether it is a teammate, whether it is your boss, a colleague, a coworker, and the stronger your immune system is, 1, the greater amount of work that you are going to be able to do during this time, okay? And also 2, when the doors do finally open up, and they will, your ability to hit the ground running because you are strong, you are healthy, your immune system is intact. So huge benefit right now. So, all of those points of connection, this is what it is also doing for your career. The next one, lowers anxiety and depression, okay? So this means that your ability to focus, to be engaged, to be productive, to think strategically and creatively in terms of what you need to do work-wise is going to matter. It's going to matter tremendously. So those Zoom team meetings that you are on, again, those family chats, all of those things, think about it strategically and how all of those points of connection are also helping and driving your career. And the last one that what connection does and how it helps, your professional life right now is, believe it or not, it boosts your self-esteem, your confidence. It gives you a jolt every time that you are with people. And I will say, it's not all people. Think about those people that also make you feel better, that are filled with positivity, that are inspiring, that are motivating, or a conversation that you have that allows you to, to help somebody else, to feel good about yourself. All of those things boost your self-esteem, boost your confidence. And so it's not just for the social aspects, which are fantastic, but right now, everybody needs that boost of self-esteem, that confidence. And then again, when we are all back to work in our normal way, whatever that looks like, whether you are going to physically go back to a brick and mortar workplace, back to an office setting, whether, your work is going to, you're going to be back on stage if you are a speaker, engaging face-to-face with clients. Again, you are going to want all of that self-esteem and all of that confidence that you can bring with you. So if you are thinking of, oh, it's not worth it, I don't really feel like talking to anybody today, I don't really feel like connecting, what we are doing right now, this point of connection, is strengthening your immune system. It's lowering anxiety and depression, and it is boosting your self-esteem and your confidence. So I want you to say yes to those invitations for all of these reasons and many more. Deal? Okay. Head nodding, yes. Type it in the chat room. All right. So that is tip number 1. Connect for your career, in addition to all of the other positive, byproducts of connecting. Number 2 right now is to learn something new. I want everyone to commit to learning something new. We all have an unprecedented amount of time on our hands, and we want to make sure to use this time wisely. So what are you learning? Is there a certification that now is the perfect time? Something to get accredited? I have a client right now that works for a global organization, and right before the shutdown or this new turn of events, one of her conversations that she was having when it came to advancing her career and leveling up to that next level was she was going to be managing a territory that expanded into Mexico, into Latin America. So she is using this time right now, with a little help from Rosetta Stone, to brush up on her Spanish. Perfect time to do that. I am currently, using this time to accelerate my process to get my ICF coaching certification. Pam, my business partner, is using this time to get a team coaching certification. Okay, what do you need to do to learn, to know, to increase your proficiency to level up? So again, when the doors open, when you go back to the workplace, are you going to be primed and positioned for that promotion, for that next step? I know a lot of you, and I'm working with a lot of my clients right now, they were just on that cusp, having those conversations, that promotion, that expanded territory, everything was right there. And, understandably, a lot is on hold right now. But just because those decisions are on hold doesn't mean that the work is on hold. Use this time for your own professional development. What can you learn? So when that opportunity is again right there in front of you, you are ready to hit the ground running. So whether it is a new language, maybe it's a piece of software, a piece of technology. I should probably use this time to get a little better at PowerPoint presentations or Excel spreadsheets, those sorts of things. Now is the time. And I'm sure, like many of you, I am probably going to learn how to cut and color my own hair during this time, because I don't know who made the decision that salons are not an essential service, but they should be. So we've got a lot of time. Use the time wisely. All right. Number 2, learn something new. Number 3, nobody likes this activity, but this is the perfect time to do it. While we are deep cleaning our homes and Lysoling everything and scrubbing everything down and washing our hands 10,000 times, how about spending a little time to deep clean your inbox? When was the last time that you went through the 1,000+ emails in your inbox? This is the time to do it. And because few things. One, oftentimes it's like mining for gold. So sometimes there are some connections in there, some emails that you've completely forgotten about. Some people that you were emailing with and somehow just fell off the radar, but they're in their inbox. So sometimes those connections need to be resurrected, revisited. Maybe those people as we talked about last time, those are the people that you want to connect with on LinkedIn. Okay? If you are looking for work, this is where, again, those connections are going to be super, super important. So deep cleaning your inbox is really important. Organizing your inbox. Maybe there are some documents that need to be stored in a different file so you can find them easily. Also, too, how many of you are somehow, some way you subscribed for, some sort of blog or some sort of, piece of information that you get it and you never read it. You never read it. The deep clean of your inbox is also go through all of those things in your inbox that you want to unsubscribe to. Okay, now's the time. Hit unsubscribe and minimize, streamline what's going on and the information that we are all being bombarded with right now. So deep clean your inbox. Number 4 is going to be the granddaddy of the tips today. I hope that all of you have, if you haven't started, that you are at least thinking about updating your resume and or your executive bio. So this is the sort of the document that gets the least amount of love. And now more than ever. And this is not meant to scare anybody. This is not meant to, sort of strike any kind of fear. I am simply suggesting from a position of power, not one of panic, that on any given day, during even the most normal or the most booming of times, I am a huge believer, after doing this for more than 25 years, I am a huge believer and advocate that you should have an updated resume and bio always, 24/7. How many of you only think about a resume when you need it? Okay. And so whether you think you need it now or whether you actually need it now, really spending some time focusing on your resume is critical. Because think about it this way, if somebody called you, emailed you, and said, your dream job is waiting for you, all you have to do, the only thing you have to do is send me your updated resume in the next 5 minutes. Could you do it? Okay, so that's sort of the litmus test by which I want you to sort of evaluate your state of readiness, preparedness when it comes to your resume. All right, and because it is that important. And your resume, let's just make the distinction, should not read like a boring old job description. It should read like a success story. So similarly, even if you are in the job market right now, which unfortunately is going to happen to an unprecedented amount of people in a very short amount of time. And so this is critical to the job search. But a resume or an updated executive bio is also really important whether you are trying to get a new position or a bigger position with your current company. All right? And also think about it too, if you work for yourself, new clients ask for some version of a resume or a bio, or if you are in the business where you are submitting RFPs, requests for proposal, they always ask for a bio. So in every walk of life, in every point of this process, let's say, this is essential. And so I want you to spend a little time updating it, but more importantly, I want all of your successes, your awards, your accomplishments, your statistics. Your resume should be loaded with numbers. We've talked before about your value proposition. Okay? How do you positively impact an organization's bottom line? How do you make them money, save them money, streamline processes, increase your clientele, the client base, invent new solutions to problems, broaden the reach, improve their brand, anything. Because this is also your resume and your bio. Think about it this way. This is how you, this is the business case that you are putting together as to how or why somebody should talk to you, hire you, promote you, refer you, recommend you, right? As a full-time employee, as a consultant, as a strategic partner in some way, all of those things. And so does anybody, do you want to sort of share in terms of any questions that you have? We're going to talk about this. So any questions that you have around maybe a resume, a bio, any of those pieces right now, now is the time to ask. Or any questions about anything right now. You can unmute yourself. Pam, you can share any questions that you have from the chat room. Anybody?
There's just some comments that people have had recruiters that have reached out to them through LinkedIn, and that's a great thing. That's a great recruiting tool. People look for people that has your skill set within your LinkedIn, and making sure that's updated is a great thing. So that's great that recruiters are still actually looking for people in this day and age. Cindy said that she got her resume updated a couple of months ago.
Good.
And would love to. And then Laura said that she is working on her certification as well. And I would be interested in where Lorianne is getting her certification from.
Lorianne, do you want to share? I know where your certification is from. All right, I'm going to call Lorianne out. We were in the coaching class together. She had the executive coaching certification. And so I'm sure she's working on that and probably many other things, because Lorianne is that type of woman, an absolute go-getter. So I'm sure that she's very close to completing her certification, which is wonderful. And then think about it this way, okay? Let's connect the dots, because then when you do complete a certification, when you do learn something new, when you do add a new skill or new tool to your toolbox, that information then gets updated on your resume. Okay, don't forget to include that information, not only on your resume, but also on your LinkedIn profile. We talked about that last time. And so when you do update your resume, you can upload it onto your LinkedIn profile, and that information should match. Okay, last time we talked about the LinkedIn profile, and yes, recruiters are always still scouring social media and that search engine optimization. So you want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile, as well as your resume, is heavily populated with keywords and buzzwords that are easily searchable and findable. You know, now more than ever, you want people to find you. So think strategically about those keywords and those buzzwords, and we can do a whole other section on that. So any other questions?
Yeah, I'd be interested in knowing a little more about what you just said, resume connected to LinkedIn. I haven't done that, but doesn't feel natural for me, but I'd like to hear more.
Okay, so you have a couple of options. So in terms of that connection, so great question. So one, the information should match. Okay, so the work history and the verbiage and all of the information should match. So that's one thing. But there is also a mechanism, a function on LinkedIn where you can literally upload your current resume as a PDF.
Right.
So if somebody wants to download it, if somebody wants more information, they can access it that way. And so this is really helpful for job seekers. because you do want, it's LinkedIn and your resume in particular are marketing tools, and you are marketing yourself in the job market. And so I recommend it if that is something that you are pursuing, but at the very least, if that is not comfortable for you, then at the very least, at least the information should match. And what that typically means is that then you want your LinkedIn profile to be a little more robust, you know, and a little more thorough when you're filling it out. So you want to entice the reader where they just absolutely have to learn more about you. They are intrigued, they are inspired, they are impressed. So what is going to impress somebody, you know, reading your resume or your LinkedIn profile? Think about it this way. Somebody looking at it is going to give it about, you know, 5 to 7 seconds. A full read is 10 to 12 seconds. How are you going to capture somebody's attention in that short amount of time? What's the wow factor that you are bringing to your marketing materials? And this is the same true if you're trying to attract clients, strategic partners, you know, even within organizations. Some organizations are so big that it is like applying for a new job. If that's a new promotion or a new territory, or you're going to be working for a new boss. So it's true across the board. Any other questions? Going once, going twice. All right, so just a quick recap. Part 3, 1, connect for your career, for all of those health reasons, but how they also help your career during this time. So connect, connect, connect. Learn something new. Learn something new, and now that it looks like we are all going to be kind of hunkered down for an even longer period of time, you've got more time to devote to your professional and personal development, both, okay? Number 3, deep clean your inbox. Get organized, unsubscribe, and, you know, think about it in terms of mining for gold. What information, what connections are in there that you have forgotten about that could be super helpful for you right now? And number 4, update your resume and bio. Get all of that information in order. And, you know, and if you do want somebody to, you know, give it an extra set of eyes, I am here. Feel free to reach out anytime if you have questions, if you want me to take a look at it. And with that, yes, I will be back on Wednesday. So, oh yeah, we may all be looking like this by Wednesday, but I will see you all on Wednesday, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Mountain time, if you are here in beautiful Colorado. And with that, I want to thank all of you for joining me today. And I can't wait to hear more updates, more good news, and more questions from you on Wednesday. Feel free to share this with your network and with your friends, with your connections. We would love to be a resource for everyone during this time, and to be sort of that reliable, constant kind of presence, you know, during this time of uncertainty. We are certain. I will be here on Mondays and Wednesdays. Pam will be here on Tuesdays and Thursdays to, you know, take even a deeper dive into resilience and well-being and everything you can and should be doing right now to take good care of yourself in a myriad of ways. So thank you all very much, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you. Bye.